Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And boy, we got a show, an incredible show planned for you guys today. First of all, thank you guys for tuning in every day. We know the show is Monday through Friday, dedicated to the first responders, of course, the firemen, the policemen, the doctors, the nurses, the farmers, the teachers, everybody out there. But most of it, it's dedicated to people like you. And that's what makes this show so successful. We're on Monday through Friday, folks, a little show about big things. Don't forget, check the website at TonyOceanMusic.com. To book a show, give us a call at 847-769-8609, everybody. And don't forget that every Ocean's Pit show is brought to you by Eco Solar Solutions, where you always save more energy. And when you save more energy, you save more money. You give our good buddy Caesar a call at 630-345-2964. You let them know Tony Ocean sent you. Also, don't forget Trico Hair Experts out of Rosemont, Illinois. Guys, forget the comb over, the hat, the spray. It's done. You don't need it. You call Trico Hair Experts. They're right out of Rosemont, Illinois. They'll take care of you, recreating good hair days at 773-999-7888. And, of course, one of my favorites, Don Esteban Cigars. Folks, get those Tony Ocean hand-rolled cigars or any kind of cigars you like, hand-rolled, sent right to your home. Great for gift giving. Call my buddy Javier at Don Esteban Cigars right out of Tarpon Springs, Florida. Perfect gift giving. They will come right to your house. And they're hand-rolled. 727-366-7536. It's time to start the show.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things. And now, your host, Mr. Tony Ocean.
Thank you, Nelson Santiago and the Expensive Winos. Hey, boy, what a show we got for you guys, man. I can't tell you how I'm excited and honored and humbled to have our guest coming on very, very shortly, the great Chicago's own Ronnie Rice, man. Woo, I'm excited. All right, folks, first of all, I want to thank everybody. Thank you so much to everybody that showed up Friday night, Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Thank you. Saturday night, we were at Norton's in Highland Park. What a successful show. Great job, Rhino, as well. And Sunday, thank you for everybody that came to the Arcada Theater in St. Charles when we celebrated the 106th birthday of Francis Albert Sinatra. Produced by Ron Onesti. We had the great big band, of course. Nick Pontarelli with me, great vocalist, great friend, Jack D'Amico, Bill Pantley, and yours truly. We do it every year since when Frank was 99. And Ron Onesti put that, and great, the band. We got Greg Baroni on bass, Gina Knight on drums, Paulie Casino on piano, Carlo from the Buckinghams, the great Bill Porter, who actually played with Frank Sinatra many, many, many years. We want to thank everybody that showed up to the show. What a great success it was. All right, let me tell you what's going on this week now, folks. This Wednesday will be a Tavern on the Point in Edison Park with Rhino Ryan and the return of the lovely Regina Karma. That show is at 7 o'clock. Thursday will be at Capri in Willow Springs with Rhino Ryan and Lisa P. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse in Schaumburg. Saturday will be at Taverna on Division. That's with Rhino Ryan and Tody Toto. And Sunday, we're back at the Arcada Theater Speakeasy for Sinatra Sunday, me and the Professor Daryl Armenstad. That's this Sunday. So we got a lot of good things to talk about. There's the Professor right now. Jerry Jams. Hello, Carol. Kathy Ippolito is watching. How you guys doing? We got Santa Barbara. We got Florida. We got Wisconsin. We got New York. We got Jersey. We got Florida. Hello, everybody to Ocean's Pit. And Marietta's back in town. Ronnie B is in town. All right. So real fast, folks. And don't forget now, the new Dean Martin book. My good buddy Elliot, of course, Thorpe from the United Kingdom, from England. Him and his father had the Dean Martin Society for many, many years. This book is actually brand new, just came out. He's going to be on the show, Elliot, on the 22nd of this month. And folks, authorized by the Dean Martin family. Perfect stock giving. And, he interviewed me for the show, for the book. And I didn't think much of it because I thought I loved it, of course. I didn't know it was going to be, I thought it'd just be a little blurb. He put 2 pages on the whole story of me in the book. So make sure you pick it up. Called For the Good Times. Dean Martin, Elliot Thorpe. You got to love it, folks. And don't forget, we're going to be in Florida, kicking off our brand new mini tour, the Windy City Tour with my buddy Greg Reaney. We start March 11th, 2022. We'll be at the Venice Community Center. On the 12th and 13th at Joey D's in Marco Island. We have a lot more shows to be announced starting in Florida. The Windy City Boys show starts in March. All right, now let's go back to another quick sponsor before we bring up. Don't forget, you can see the show on Twitter. So go to Twitter, folks. Follow us on Twitter. You can also follow us on YouTube. Subscribe to YouTube, folks. You can see Ocean's Pit every day, Monday through Friday. All right, let's get another sponsor out of the way. Airtight Windows, baby. It's cold. It's winter. You want to get the house nice and warm and toasty? Call my buddy Lou at Airtight Windows Siding and Special. It's family owned for 30 years for honesty and quality. Do it right with Airtight. Call Lou at 708-788-5000, ladies and gentlemen. Get those windows done. Don't forget Deutsch Power Center, right out of Elgin, Illinois, folks, servicing the construction and diesel industry for the last 100 years. Call my buddy Sal, 224-276-6550. All right, without any further ado, we can't keep this guy waiting too long, ladies and gentlemen. We can't keep him on waiting too long, so we're going to bring him on. Let's see. Let's toast him on. Push the button here. Come on. Where's he at? One more time. We'll try it again. There he is. Ronnie Rice, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey,
ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, let me get a proper introduction.
Can you hear me?
Ladies and gentlemen, one of the founding guys behind one of the greatest bands ever to come out of Chicago, the New Colony 6. Then, of course, his great solo performance on his own. Also part of the great package, the Cornerstones of Rock. Come on. I will always think about you. Things I like to say. I confess. So many great songs. Love you so much. I mean, the list goes on and on. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored and humbled to have the legendary Ronnie Rice. Ronnie, how you doing, sir?
Please. Can you hear me, Tony?
Yes, sir. I can hear you.
You guys are all right. You ought to have your own show, I swear to God.
You know what, Ron? Let me tell you something. I've had different people on the show, and New Colony 6, I mean, come on. The music that came out of Chicago and what you do, even and you go out as a solo performer. I seen you once opening for Peter Noon in the Schomburg Fest, which was fantastic. And of course, what you've done with New Colony 6, and then of course with the Cornerstones of Rock. What a great package that is. But how you doing, man? Where you at? Home? Where you at?
I'm at home, baby. I'm in the kitchen.
You're in the kitchen
having me a little bit of coffee.
There you go. Oh, right out of the can, baby. You gotta love that. Right out of the can. Hey, Ronnie,
cold.
Let's start real fast. Where were you born, my friend?
Actually, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Israel. I'm an Israelite. Get up in the morning, slave for the bread, sir. You remember that song, Israelite?
There you go.
And the Asian. And we got here. My parents are from Germany, actually. They met over there. And I guess during the war, obviously, and I was born in 1944. Back before it was even called Israel. It was actually called Palestine at the time, believe it or not. And they made it. I went to Von Humboldt School when I was a kid. Then we moved to Chicago, further north. We went to Clinton School. And then I went to actually junior high in Evanston and Evanston High School. And then I went to Columbia College for about 10 minutes. And that's where I met the New Colony 6. And nobody knew at the time who they were. I didn't even know who they were. Nobody did because they didn't have anything out yet. Then they decided, they said they were going to record somewhere at a place called Sound Studios on Michigan Avenue. And I said, can I join you? Because I've recorded there. I had my first record out here in Chicago when I was 16. Dick Biondi, I knocked on his door. What a sweetheart.
What a man. What a man.
Oh, man. You know Dick.
Incredible. A legend.
Oh, for real. And this was back in 1961. I was a junior in high school when I met him. He got me started in the business. As a matter of fact, he introduced me to the biggest recording record promoters in the in Chicago. 90% of what you ever heard on the radio, WLS, WCFL, were because of Pete and Howard, these two guys. And Pete decided to be my manager. Dick Biondi, again, introduced me to him. and needless to say, had my first song out again on WLS when I was 16, called Over the Mountain. And then when I met the New Colony at Columbia College, they were familiar with my background. They knew who I was. And then I met them at the studio, and they recorded a song called I Confess to Have a Willingness and
I
Wanting for
confess.
You.
Yeah.
And it became number 2 thanks to Pete and Howard. Number 2 here in Chicago. And then they asked me a year later if they were established if I would take the place of their keyboard player. I can't play keyboards. I'm terrible at it. And I consider myself like you. Well, you're a great singer. You're a great entertainer.
Thank you, sir.
That's why I have a lot of respect for you, Tony.
Thank you.
Great guy.
Ronnie, you know what, though? You started at the age of 16 years old playing the guitar. When you first growing up, who influenced you? I mean, who was it? Who was someone in your home, your grandparents, the Beatles? Who was it that said, I want to do that?
Oh, I did. I mean, I would hear this stuff on the radio, and I said, I know listening again to Dick Biondi and a bunch of people, and what am I talking before that? And I'm listening to radio, I'm hearing these hit songs and these guys singing it. I'm sure you were influenced the same way. And I said, I could do that. And that's what happened. And then I was very aggressive. And when I found out when I was in high school, Dick Biondi lived in Evanston. So I lived in Evanston. I found out where he lived when I was a junior. And I knocked on his door.
I remember you told me the story when you were having dinner. Go ahead, tell the story.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
And then he said, come on in. And I had a little demonstration record with me, which had a couple of tunes out. Oh, Donna by Richie Valens. And I also had a thing I wrote called Baby, Baby, Where Are You Going? Baby, What Are You Doing? Stuff like that. Very simple. And Baby, Baby, I guess I kept it in my brain. I don't know. But anyways, it turns out, it was, again, he said, come on. And he introduced me. Gene Taylor was the program director at the time. They introduced me, Pete Wright. I was just talking to you about that. But getting back to the Colony, to be honest with you, I think it's just kismet or something. It was lucky it worked out because it worked out for myself and for the Colony. Obviously, we got lucky, after.
Well, you had a lot of great stuff. I mean, these great songs. Ronnie, what was it felt like when you first heard I'll Always Think About You? 1968 it came out. Where were you when you first heard it on the radio?
Great question. I was actually Jim Stagg at WCFL. The Colony had already been established. We were the first group out of Chicago. Then came Shadows of Night and so on and so forth. Buckingham's, as you know, where we do the Cornerstones with all the good guys. And as it turns out, well, let me tell you, the Cornerstones, for those who don't know, are the Ides of March, representatives of the Ides of March, the New Colony, American Breed. Well, we give a dedication to American Breed because poor Gary Luiso unfortunately never made it.
Absolutely.
He had pancreatic cancer.
Sure. Very sad
Terrible.
loss.
Yeah. He never got sad. He never got a chance to see the show, but when it was aired, and it was who did I mention? Ides of March, Shadows of Night, Crying Shames, obviously Buckingham's, you got it there with a main act. And the bottom line is we do this thing quite a bit, different places, Arcata Theater, around Onesti, of course. So as it turns out, we got the Milwaukee Summerfest coming up. But anyway, just to digress a bit, when I first heard I Will Always Think About You, it was like in the car. I knew when they premiered
cool. Were you by yourself or with girlfriend? Who were you with?
Yeah, I was by myself.
Okay.
And now we had other tunes out.
Sure.
And then this was aired. But I want to tell you kind of a cool thing. I was sitting in the car one day. They had what they call a capsule countdown. I don't know if that was WCFL, I think it was, or WLS. I'm not sure which one. And then they go number 10 today requested. These are legit requests that people are calling in for the things they were hearing for the first time of these groups. And number 10 was whatever, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. And I'm going, we never made it. Nobody requested the tune. Number 1 requested that night was I Will Always Think About You. So I was jumping up. I was happy. And then a week later became number 1 in Louisville, Kentucky. And then from then on, the top 20 nationwide, 22 cash box. And and Billboard, of course. And then a year later, Things I Like to Say came out. Baby, babies are looking after you. And after that came out, that was our biggest song. That was number 2 here and top 10 in all the major markets like LA, New York.
That's
so
amazing. Ronnie, I heard a story. Tell me if this is true or not. Were you two? Did you share a living with Paul Revere and the Raiders? Did you guys share at one time?
No, we never. No, what happened was before I joined the colony, before I met him at Columbia College, they had gone out to try to get a recording contract in California. They met these guys, Paul Revere and the Raiders,
right?
And they realized that these guys are wearing the same attire that they had, the same idea.
Sure.
And then, unfortunately, the colony never got signed there. But Paul Revere and the Raiders obviously turned into a huge band, great band. And they worked on the Dick Clark Where the Action Is, and yes, and they were like the house band. But boy, they had some great tunes.
I mean, Mark Lindsay, what a voice on that guy. I mean,
we worked with him. He was great. We worked with him a number of years ago. And I met Paul Revere once, and very nice guy. Unfortunately, he passed away too. And pretty much it. And a lot of history.
A lot of history, Rob.
And I'm sure you have as well because of your career. You've been around a long time.
Well, I'm just lucky to be doing what I'm doing. Ronnie, did you have a part of starting that record label, Centra? Did you guys start your own label?
That was a new that was right. Like I say, that was prior to me getting in. They asked me to join, like I say, a year later and take the place of the keyboard player. So the first song I was on was "I Love You So Much," which was the number 2 record here.
Incredible
it started to happen naturally. And I just sang background on that song. And Ray Graffia, he's the one who wrote it. And with Jerry Van Kallenberg, who was a guitar player at the time, and so on. But what was the question again?
The question? No, I meant the Centra. How did the record label come up? Because I know you guys started the label, right?
That was the new college. That was Ray Graffia's father. And so it was an independent label, as was USA Records, with the Buckinghams, with the kind of a drag. So they already had, that was the father, the guy, the people that, when I Love You So Much came out, the distribution, I think it was Cameo Parkway, who also had, Little Eve, which one was it here? I think they had Question Mark and Mysterians and so on and so forth.
Sure.
And, so they distributed, they're the ones that got it around. And again, it did fair. Locally, we did very well with about 7 tunes. We did really well here in Knock on Wood. And then naturally, again, we had a few we got lucky with. Yeah.
Ron, you guys had some incredible songs. And what was your relationship when you guys were growing up? I mean, you're in the bands and you're with you see the Shadows, you see the Buckinghams.
Right.
What was that whole camaraderie? Was there a lot of, I mean, there's got to be a lot of jealousy in one point, but of course you also came from a great city. You all came up at the same time. How was all that like?
You're asking very good questions, by the way.
Well, I'm hoping.
Great questions. I appreciate it. I think everybody in Chicago, the majority of the guys that I've met in the city and the guys that have had, like I say, all the guys, like guys on that when we're doing the Cornerstone show, which by the way was originally aired on PBS.
PBS, great special.
Yeah, thank you. And I don't know why, but that Jim Peterick is the one to put all that together. He's
another great Chicago legend, Jim Peterick. I had the opportunity to record some demos for him. What an incredible!
He's amazing. He's like a go-getter. He doesn't stop, and it's incredible. I'm quite the opposite. I'm kind of lazy. He's just a go-getter. But as it turns out, we just and now I lost it again. What'd you say?
No, that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. Listen, you can lose it all the time and it's still fantastic. Ronnie, did you guys ever appear on American Bandstand?
You know what? That's a great question. No, we did the Mike Douglas show. We were going to do Ed Sullivan show, but we never got to do Ed Sullivan. But we did do that. We did another show nationally. That was a Jerry Lewis summer replacement show. And it was on ABC. And I don't know if you remember this name. The guy who was the host of the show was Lloyd Thaxton. Do you remember that name at all?
No,
Lloyd Thaxton.
No.
Oh, I'm telling you. this guy used to, I think he had his own show for a while, whatever he do, lip syncing and this and that. And I think the show was called Scene 70. What it was a live show, a live audience. Nationally, the guy told us there was like 30 million people watching, which helped relax me a whole lot.
Oh,
Anyway,
big time, right.
Oh, man. So we did this show the week before us. These were all up-and-coming acts they would put on the show. So like the Chambers Brothers, you know, Tom.
Yeah.
And that was
Sure,
they were around before us on that show. We were there about a week later. And so we did it live. And this was before we did Mike Douglas show. And all of a sudden we did it. And I thought, what a terrible job we did. Oh, man. The guy that wrote I Will Always with me and things like to say was a guy named Les Como, unfortunately passed away as well. I got him into the band. And the bottom line is, when I saw the replay in the truck or whatever, before they aired it nationally, the show, I would go, for you, and Les would be like, for you. It's terrible. And I go, oh my God, I hope don't.
Ronnie, did you like performing live, or did you like the lip syncing part when you did those shows?
No, it was live, man. So I listened to it. I mean, I heard that. I was so embarrassed. I thought, oh my goodness, how are we going to get back? I can't go back to Chicago. I can't live this down. So anyway, I mean, the Bucks are going to see all the guys, and oh,
sure.
Man. Anyway, I guess it was better than I thought it was. But then we did the Douglas show, and I thought, let's do this thing with a track. I ain't taking no more chances. Let's just do it. But I sang live, but the track was being played. But I sang the lead vocal. So
Ron, let me ask you something, Ron. When you guys came up with a song,
yeah,
who decided who's going to sing it? How did that work? It would matter who wrote it, or how did that all work?
It's an interesting question. Actually, the guys that wrote the tunes, and everybody was busy writing something, except for Chuck Chakowski, who was the original drummer of the group. Then came a guy named Bill Herman, and Bill Herman was like a great drummer. He's a guy who did like double bass and boom, ba ba. And he was a good show drummer as well. He used to be with a group called the Aorta and a group called the Exceptions before that, who had Pete Cetera in there and blah. Okay.
Sure.
Anyway, we the guys that decide this situation are usually everybody. But when it's interesting because when you write the songs, whomever you write it with, if you want to sing lead on it, usually you're the guy that wrote the song that sing lead on it. That's usually the case. And yes, that's always the case. As a matter of fact, there's really. But I remember when I presented, I Will Always Think About You to the group. A couple of guys in the band didn't think it was a hit record. They didn't think it was a winner. And somebody said, why don't we call it For You instead of I Will Always Think About You, For You, that part. And I said, no, I want to do I Will Always, the first line. And then when we were in studio, that slide down the beat, I will. And I thought that'd be kind of fun because it might bring in the audience a little bit.
Bring in the audience. Well, it was good keeping it the title the way you did. It belongs that way. It should always say, I Will Always Think About You instead of For You, because there's probably 3 or 4 songs already that was singing it was about For You. So that was perfect.
Yeah. Well, that's
a good job. You're watching Ocean's Pit, the little show about big things with the legendary, of course, Ronnie Rice, ladies and gentlemen, from New College Six Solo, Cornerstones of Rock. Let me just got a quick little sponsor real fast, folks. SteakSyndicate.com. Folks, gift giving. If you're looking to give pork chops, steaks, chicken, fish, everything delivered right to your house, you go right to SteakSyndicate.com. You put in the promo code Tony Ocean. You get 25% off the membership fee and a free tomahawk steak sent right to your house. That's SteakSyndicate.com. Make you an offer you can't refuse. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're back with the legendary, of course, Ronnie Rice. Ronnie, what would you say the biggest audience crowd you've ever played in front of?
I think Milwaukee. We played Milwaukee Stadium a couple of times. We did once. The first time we played there, actually, the New College 6 was the first one to do the Milwaukee Summerfest. It's ironic because we're going back. We played it already with the Cornerstones just a couple of years ago. Now we're going back this summer to do it again. But New Colony was the first one. And unfortunately, the first night, we were out there, the tent blew. That was a big tent. And it would have been, could fit about a zillion. Yeah, a lot of people, 2,000 maybe in the tent, whatever. The tent blew down. Anyway, nobody got hurt. Nobody was in the tent at the time. But the next day, they decided to do the show again. and all you could see are people all over the place. It must have been, I don't know how many thousands of people. That was probably the biggest that
Biggest crowd you ever had.
Except,
you had a bigger.
What's that?
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, what I was going to tell you was that when we played, let's see, what was I going to tell you again? Oh, I think the biggest crowd actually was when we worked over at the stadium again. The New Colony was part of a show which included it was a rotary stage or a rotisserie stage. Yummy. Anyway, went around and around and around, and we got dizzy. No, he didn't. But there were the Monkees with us. Not with us, but we were with all these other guys. Bob Seger. And those are the only two I recall at the time, but it was a rotating stage. There was no monitors at the time. So you can't listen to the PA, you know, at that stadium, because when it comes back, you got it out. You're like, I will always think about.
Yeah, so it came back. Right. Yeah. Ron, you've been all over doing what you did with the band and with the songs that you had. You've been asked this name so many times. Where did the name New Colony 6 come from?
Oh yeah, that was of course because the being United States, so they figured, you know, it'll represent the states, New Colony, the New Colony. And because back then I think all the British bands were coming around, I figured that might have been a thought. But Rick Raffia, Pat McBride, Jerry Van Kallenberg, Tchaikovsky, Wally Kemp, these were the original New Colony guys. And Craig Kemp, who I replaced.
Replaced the keyboard player. Ron, do you remember what year did they disband, or when did you leave?
Probably around. They continued on after I left. I left the group around 73, something like that, 74. I joined them again about 67. So I felt that it was time for me. I wanted to be on my own. I didn't want to, but I think it got to the point where we decided things were not doing as well as we would like it to at that time. You know, things were kind of coasting slower, bada. And they stood together. And Skip Raparis, a buddy of mine, I put him in there. We
had Skip on the show. He's fantastic.
Oh, you had Skip on?
Oh, yeah, Skip is fantastic. Yeah.
Oh, how nice. Okay, yeah.
Absolutely.
A good boy. And anyway, the bottom line to all this was nothing. There ain't no bottom line. It is whatever I said. I don't know.
Did you like taking the responsibility on your own once you started doing solo shows? Now it's Ronnie Rice and you had to do your own thing. How was that like?
Well, actually, that was, I wasn't doing anything. So I figured, well, let's go interview with Rich Melman over at Let Us Entertain You Enterprise. The guy.
Great guy. Absolutely.
Wonderful man. And I went to him. I said, well, they were opening a place called Lawrence of Oregano, Italian thing. And I said, okay, let's, he wanted me to help him. His idea was to have music and have the waiters and waitresses sing. And then when they're not singing, they could serve the tables, blah, blah. So I decided to help him, as he asked if I could. Well, he already wanted me there anyway. He was familiar with my background. So myself, Bobby Douglas, we got Steve Stone, and we would look at people auditioning so they could play there. And I basically was handing out zucchini, breaded zucchini. It was very good. And, while I do that, you put the zucchini down, go up and play for 15 minutes, whatever. And he had me going into some of the, anyway, that was home base. That's where I started doing my own thing.
Your solo stuff, which is very good. I mean, you go out and do your stuff. I mean, you are the voice. And when you're singing those great songs, I want to get down to a point now. What happened? Let's think about March 14th, 2020. You hear on the radio, COVID-19 is coming. What did you think? What did you think? Number one, personally for yourself, and second of all, the music business. What were you thinking at that time when you first heard about it?
Well, obviously, I felt, number one, I felt sorry for the restaurants. I felt sorry for all the people that work at the restaurants and the owners of the restaurants, putting all the money into that, and then all of a sudden they got to lose all the money on people. Terrible thing. Terrible. Probably, obviously, the worst thing that ever happened to this country in a way. And it's just awful for everybody. Now it's warmed up a little bit. knock on wood, so people are called again and so on. By the way, I think you asked me who, I just flashed back to when you asked me about who are the people I grew up with musically and so on.
Yeah,
The
sure.
people
Who,
that
who
I
influenced you? Yes.
you know, and the ones that influenced me, Chuck Berry, Elvis, Little Richard, that was the era that I grew up. Ricky Nelson, I loved Ricky Nelson, Ozzy and
Yeah,
Harriet.
fantastic, Nils.
Watch.
So,
Jim
Ronnie,
Morrison.
were you a Beatles guy or were you a Stones
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
or both?
Both. The Rolling Stones, when I first heard them, I didn't think they sounded that great. You know, time is on my side. I didn't think they were that good.
Yeah.
But yet, as they improved, as did the Beatles and so on, I love the Beatles. I think the Beatles, for me, are the most. Well, we work with the Beach Boys a lot, a number of times, and that was American-wide. That was my favorite group. And then the Beatles came along, but with the versatility that the Beatles had, they're so great at what they were doing, a writer and the like I said, the versatility and the color. They were great productions, great stuff. I think they were the best of the best when it came to rock and roll bands. And if it weren't for them, you wouldn't have heard of Rolling Stones or anybody else.
You wouldn't have heard of a lot of those bands. Dave Clark 5, the Kinks, the Hollies, all those bands never would have happened. Ron, did you guys ever play overseas with the New Colony?
Never did. No, never played there. Never played there. No, never did. No. Yeah.
All right, let me ask you something. Now, I know you don't have to get into details about this, but you've met a lot of people. Yeah, you've met a lot of people. Okay. Mm-hmm. Who were you like the first person? It could have been a man or a woman that when you met, you were like in complete awe.
Oh, that's funny.
The coolest, would you have to say, you ever met?
I think the Beach Boys, I was more excited because I grew up with them, had their albums and so on and so forth. So to work with them was probably a highlight for me.
Sure. I mean, that's got to be huge.
Pardon me?
That's got to be huge. Brian Wilson.
Yeah, I never met him. He wasn't on the tour.
Oh, okay.
He might have been in a sandbox somewhere. I don't know where the guy was.
But he was a genius with his songwriting.
Oh gosh, yeah, for real. Peter wrote a couple tunes with him. About it. Anyhow, the bottom line to all this stuff is, I mean, the Beach. Well, let's see here. Carl Perkins, I met him. That was a lot of fun.
Wow, that's got to be credible.
The only two people that I ever would have liked to have met would be actually Paul McCartney and Elvis Presley, because I loved them both. I thought they were top notch. And Elvis, when he was younger, I'm a big Elvis fan from when he,
I mean, what Elvis did, remarkable. He changed music, he changed culture, he changed everything, just like the Beatles did. But now, Ronnie, let's go on the other side. The coolest you ever met. Who was the biggest jerk? You don't have to get into details, but somebody.
No, I don't care. I tell you.
Who would you say was like, this guy was just, who the hell did he think he was? Band or individual?
You know what? I can't think of anyone at the moment who was of bands that I met.
Yeah.
Or that was a schmuck. None of the ones I've met.
Well, then that's fantastic.
And I mean that sincerely. I don't really recall that. I would.
You would have remembered, right? You would have remembered. Ronnie, what did you think of your opinion right now? And I know you're busy. Thank you for being on the show. I want to ask you, what do you think of the music today?
Well, I'm not a rap fan. Okay, I call it I call it crotch grabbing music. I'm not really a big fan of that stuff. I don't feel it's a very talented situation. I think, if you're poetic, you write songs. As far as I'm concerned, those ain't songs. Those are, it's like, hey, okay, a track, put the rhythm to it and talk over it and come up with some groove. I'm not a fan of it. It doesn't do it for me.
I got it.
As far as other people, as far as music today, everybody got their own time. They all got their own kind of music. And if you're young, like I say, I'm still writing stuff, but what does it matter at this point? I've been lucky, had a couple of winners. I love entertainment, as you do like entertaining. It's a ball. So I'm satisfied. But for people of my age who there's nobody today that I think that I would be crazy over There are people I've seen on the internet like Vince Gill, people that are super.
Yeah, yeah. And Vince Gill's been around a long time too.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of time. So what advice would you have to say, Ron, if some youngster came up to you at one of your shows and said, "Sir, what would you tell him? I want to do this for a living."
I'd say go see Tony Ocean.
Yeah. No, but I mean, thank you for that. But I mean, what kind of advice can you give him now?
Actually, I think it's tougher today. I think, I'm not part of this technology, tech world.
Me either, really. I don't know a lot about it myself.
Yeah, exactly. So coming from old school, what do you do today? Before you could sell records and vinyl and this, and then you could have a winner. You had a winner. You sold a lot of units or records and this. Today, I guess it's downloading and from what I understand. So today, I think it's a tougher business if you do have tunes. And there's so much talent out there that unfortunately never has the opportunity because they don't know the people or can't get in touch with the right people.
The right people.
So I'd say just keep doing what you're doing and keep pushing and find out if there's a way to kind of get your stuff somewhere and continue to do what you love to do. Because that's, I think, where you and I were able and got lucky to do what we want for a living. And I never thought,
we never think about that. And Ronnie, when the New Colony 6 and back in Chicago, there was a bunch of record labels. There were a bunch of producers in Chicago. When did that change? When do you think they started leaving Chicago? I remember like after the 70s and the 80s, then you didn't find the agents anymore like you used to. You didn't have the record the record labels anymore. When did you think it started changing?
It's a great. I'd say late. I remember walking around down Michigan Avenue. I remember Mercury Records was, downtown Chicago. That's who we signed with. VJ Records, which the Beatles were on originally.
Sure.
Chicago area, the label. I don't know when they split. I don't know when they left. I think that it's just a recording business changed technology-wise and so on. Obviously, there was no more printing of record. It got to the point where, the whole industry because of technology has changed. So that's probably why they went out of business, or they
moved to different cities. Everybody started going to Nashville. Everybody started going to LA.
Well, they went
everything changed.
Yeah, a lot of recording, New York and California, Nashville.
Ron, did you ever did the New Colony 6 ever regroup again to do a concert again with the original guys with everybody at one time?
Well, I didn't do it with them.
Okay.
I think I've been on my own for so long that again getting together with them this time, maybe we did something in the past where I joined them. Like they might have been playing somewhere and I jump on stage with them, but not as Ron. It wasn't the complete thing. No, you have different people. Like I said, the only original guy really that's still with the Colony is Ray Graffia, who is the founder of the band.
He's still there, yeah, right.
Really nice guy.
And do you have anything coming up where people are going to be able to see Ronnie Rice?
Well, we just missed a couple, but one of them was the Metropolis Theater. Whatever. What I got?
You sold out. You sold out.
Yeah, knock on wood. I've never been there before, so I didn't think with the COVID that was going to sell out again because I know I was due to play there about a year plus ago, and then they had to change it a couple of times. So I didn't. It was sold out in the beginning. I thought it'd be so. I didn't think it was going to sell out again, but I guess it did. Knock on wood. I'm very pleased. It was a wonderful time. And aside from that, I got the Cornerstones coming up in February and displays we got. And and then Milwaukee Summerfest, Indiana, we got with the Cornerstones. I personally, right now, I got a private thing I'm doing coming up Thursday. And that's the story.
Well, Ron, I just got to say thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man, and thank you for everything you've done for the Chicago for the music, Ronnie. I'm telling you, guys, if you've never heard the New Colony 6, well, you're probably living under a rock. I mean, these are great songs. I will always think about you. Things I like to say. I confess, love you so much. I mean, the list goes on. Google it, find it. the history. Last question for you, Ronnie.
Anything.
What would be your favorite NC6 song? If you had to only sing one for the rest of your life, that's it. Which one would it be?
I think I would always think about you. Seem to have hit home, quite a bit. I didn't realize things like to say was going to be hit. Larry Lujack thought it was a hit. They turned it over. It was
That's a great song. Things I like to say was an incredible song. Yes.
Knock on wood. Yeah, it did well. I think I Will Always is the one that usually most people are very familiar with when they hear it. So yeah, I like that. I like anything I write. I like, because that's why I write them. But I wish you a lot of success, because you're a good boy.
Ron, I'm just happy doing it. But listen, thank you for your time, sir. I want to wish you the happy holidays to you and your family.
Same to you.
We will see you around. Ladies and gentlemen, please, the legendary, of course, Ronnie Rice. Thank you so much,
Tony.
Ronnie. God bless you, brother. Ronnie Rice, ladies and gentlemen. Holy cow, that's right. And that's it. That's Ocean's Pit, folks. We got some time left, folks. And let's not forget Portillo's. You know what?
Ooh.
You gotta love Portillo's. Great food, great fun. They got the great fundraisers, folks. If you want to contact anything, we get a fundraiser, special events for your party. You go right to Portillo's, folks. It's very simple. You call our son Joe Fank at 224-636-3646 or jfank@portillos.com and find out more information about that, folks. Now, the show is Monday to Friday. Tomorrow, our guest to be the great Greg Potter, one of the great drummers, of course, from Chicagoland. He's with the Buddy Rich Band, of course. He's with Kathy Rich, Buddy Rich's daughter. They're going to be coming to the show doing the displays coming up next week. So he's going to be on the show tomorrow. We're excited about that. We also got John Ranke going to be on at the end of the month. Of course, we used to be with Johnny Starr and the Meteors, and then, of course, went to Jay and the Americans. And then, of course, December 29th, the great Ron Onesti will be back talking, as it'll be a third appearance on the show, so it'll be a lot of fun. So I'm excited, man. And there's a lot of stuff going on that we're talking about. We got some more great shows coming up. The 29th is our Tony Ocean birthday bash in Bellagio on Lake Street. I'll be turning 59. I'm excited you guys come out there. We'll be live with the main event band. The 30th, we'll be making our debut at Zaza's Cucina in Park Ridge. The 31st, Avanti Banquet Halls, folks. That's New Year's Eve with the main event band, Daryl Armistad. That's the place you want to be in Barrington. It's going to be great. A lot of fun, folks. What else can we say? We got some time left, of course. We got about 15 minutes left. Also, we have to say the passing. We lost some more celebrities this weekend in the news. A great author of Interview with the Vampire and Sony Moore. We lost the great Anne Rice at the age of 80 years old. Al Unser Sr., race car driver, guys. We all remember the great Al Unser Sr. died at the age of 82 years old. We got some great birthdays out there, so let's throw them out there, folks. I'm going to say my buddy Packy, his son Angelo, happy birthday to our friend Packy. Of course, his son Angelo, happy birthday, my good friend. I hope you're doing well. Terry Kirkman, originally from the Association. What a great band from the 60s. Happy birthday, Terry. Oh, my God. You got to love that, folks. So much great stuff here. Let's see. Let's go back here. Of course, Christina Toto, of Grace, the daughter of our drummer, Tony Toto, man. Happy birthday, Christina. Vivian Faso, of course, from Richie's in Schiller Park. Happy birthday, Vivian. Maria Mandelli, of course, some Mandellis. What a great Italian family. Love those guys. How about Nc6, bass player from Motley Crue, celebrates a birthday this past weekend. Of course, also Daryl Jones, the Chicago guy, bass player for the Rolling Stones. He's been with the Rolling Stones for many, many years. He is celebrating a birthday this past weekend. Happy birthday, Daryl Jones. Dominic Capone III, our good buddy Dominic from Capone's Restaurant in Bloomingdale, a great actor, of course. He had his brand new show, Christmas show called Can I Get a Witness or something that was on the Holiday Channel. Make sure you check it out. How about from the great band Bread, David Gates. Wow, that was a band that made some great songs, Bread. David Gates. Don Blocker, you might remember Don Blocker from Bonanza, who played Hoss. I love going back to old school, baby. Kenneth Branagh, another great English actor, celebrates a birthday. Chad Stewart, of course, from Chad and Jeremy, would have been 80 years old if he was still alive. The great Chad Stewart. Love Chad and Jeremy, of course, back in the 60s. Peter and Gordon, another some great bands back then. Kurt Angle from the WWF, baby. Woo! 53 years old, Mr. Kurt Angle. Dick Van Dyke turns 96 years old. The legendary Dick Van Dyke, one of the greatest TV shows ever on television. Bob Barker from The Price is Right, 98 years old. The great Bob Barker, man. Holy cow. You just don't get stuff like that anymore, folks. Let's talk about it. Today, April 13th, 1973, one of the great rock and roll clubs started in New York City. We're talking about the CBGB. CBGB stood for, if I'm correct, country, bluegrass, something like that. But all of a sudden, the great bands of the 70s, the punk bands really started there. Blondie, the Ramones, Talking Heads. The list goes on. And this great nightclub that started, the great CBGB, on the 13th of December, 1973, folks. Unbelievable. All right, we got some stuff. Hey, finally, folks, yes, my wife Laura's coming back with the girls today, coming back from Arizona. Of course, she's going to be a co-host with my show on Thursday. The great Laura will be back. I'm picking her up today about 6:30. They went away for a couple of days with the girls. A little, pampering, a little excitement. They went over there to Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm glad I'm picking them up. We're going to have a good time bringing them back again. We really miss the family. Hey, guys, listen to this. You guys keep sending me all this stuff, and I really appreciate it. I thought we would end world peace after changing the boxes on the pancake boxes and changing the syrup bottles. But we still try to change history. No more snowmen. Now you got to call them snow people. You can't sing Baby It's Cold Outside. I don't know what's going on with this world, folks. These are songs we're talking about. Trying to take away, not getting to see movies anymore, take them off the air because of certain things, certain topics. We're talking about historical movies too, folks. I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on with this world. I really, really don't get it. Here's something that's come up. The people are trying to, well, whether you're vaccinated or not, that's your business. I'm not pushing anybody to go get it, or if you didn't get it, that's up to you. But unvaccinated right now, they're trying to tell people now, if you're unvaccinated, ladies and gentlemen, and you happen to get COVID-19, they're trying to pass a law of some sort where you are responsible for your own hospital bills. Now, the Congress is trying to pull this off. I don't know if they can pull this off, but they're trying to say that if you are not vaccinated and you happen, unfortunately, to get COVID-19, you're responsible for your own medical bills. I don't know if that's fair. I don't know if it's true. I don't know what it is. But like I said, I'm only going on what stories that you guys sent me. And I don't know. But there's a lot of good stories, too. According to Huff Rant, which is a great social media outlet, they've got this one guy. I'm telling you, the first responders that help people out. Here's a car that went off in Niagara Falls. It's all over social media. You've seen that the car is about to go under right by Niagara Falls, go under again. And these helicopter first responder guys pull this lady out of the car miraculously on the helicopter, pulled her out before the car went over. Unbelievable. These first responders. And these are just small little stories that you don't hear about that these first responders do every day for us. The policemen, the firemen, the doctors, the nurses, the teachers, the farmers, everybody out there. And what's most important, it's you guys. It's you people that make the show. You guys we love you when you guys go out and support local establishments, live entertainment. It's important. And that's what it's about. Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate it. Becky Lee, I know we're talking about some of the comments that you're going in. How about this, folks? According to Newsweek magazine, in Florida, they had a contest for the greatest boat decorated for Christmas. They had a bunch of boats in Florida. Okay. Now, the winner of the boat had lights and everything. It was all decorated. Let's go, Brandon. Okay. And they won. And of course, after so much complaining from different sides that they were disqualified, even though they won the best boat, but because it said, let's go, Brandon, they were disqualified. And again, you can't even, that's suspicious, right? And that's what it's time for. That's right. I completely forgot about that, folks. You know what time it is? It's time for That's Suspicious. And we got tons of stuff about it, folks. More crazy stuff. The Pentagon just came up on something. If you've been watching the news, I try not to watch the news. but sometimes I have to get some of these stories, and then the stories that you guys send me. Pentagon just reports that China is preparing to invade Taiwan, and Russia is ready to prepare to invade Ukraine. I don't know, man. It's scary. I don't want another world war. Nobody wants another world war. We don't know what's going on right now. As much as people are so divided, and it's so, I don't know. I don't remember. I'm going to be 59 this year. So what do I know? I don't know too much. I haven't been to the wars and all that stuff we are so divided in this country over a vax or no vax or COVID or president, no matter what side you're on, whether you're Democrat or Republican, whatever it is. All I'm trying to say is, folks, we're all just trying to get along. We're all just trying to live, And then when you see news stuff that comes out on news, why would they even pronounce this? Popculture.com comes out with Nicki Minaj. I don't even know who this lady is. I guess she's a model or she's a rapper. I don't know. But she's trying to pose nude for her birthday at 31 years old. Do we really care to see this stuff on social media? Do I really care if this lady poses nude or not at the age of 31? I don't even know who she is. Does anybody know who she is? I think my daughters know who she is. Tony Bisek, how you doing, buddy? I heard that's not going to go through with the insurance. Thank you, Tony Bisek. That's what I love when you guys come up with answering some of my quotes here. Yeah, they won't be able to do that. I agree with you. Tony Bisek from the Meteors, great band. I think they got their last show coming up next week, I think, on the 17th, if I heard that right. I hope you're doing well. Tony Toto, happy birthday to your daughter, my friend. Albert, happy birthday to your brother up in heaven. It was great seeing you yesterday at the Arcada Theater. George, how you doing, buddy? Peter Prado, thank you doing, Peter. Sorry for your friend, Peter Prado. Prado lost a friend, of course. I think Tony Toto and Danny Ramonde went to school with him. Antonio Vizo passed away, so our prayers go out to the Vizo family. Crazy. Pfizer, ladies and gentlemen, now they're saying, the CEO of Pfizer saying that we might need another vaccine shot. 4 after the booster, another one. That's suspicious. I don't know anymore. I mean, I get so many people fighting it. I did it. I didn't get it. It's the topic that just keeps coming up and coming up. I want some good news. Okay, I don't know if you're a hockey fan out there, folks. If you're a hockey fan out there, ESPN just came out with this. They're going to have a girls' hockey league starting in 2022. Why not? I think that'd be kind of cool. I'm a hockey fan. I watch with my Rangers, New York Rangers. Jerry, Nicki Minaj was with Mariah Carey as a judge and didn't get along with Mariah Carey. Okay, so thank you, Jerry Jams. Ricky Stokes, love to show you're always. I'm trying, right, Ricky? Ricky, of course, got a new documentary coming out on Netflix, I hope, Founding Fathers of Harlem and Belmont. I'd love to see that story. I'd love to get Ricky back on the show, find out what's going on with that documentary, because I think a lot of people would love to see that kind of. A lot of people grew up out there, you know what I mean, in that area. So I don't know. People keep sending me stuff. What are you going to do here? Listen to this. According to the Insider, the CEOs of Target, Best Buy, they're saying that all their merchandise, a lot of their merchandise has been stolen, and now people are selling it online, and they're selling a lot of it, and they're losing a lot of business. And now they're asking, the CEOs are asking Congress to step in and help. You hear about this stuff all the time. They just had an article this past week about that FedEx driver who dumped 400 packages, just dumped them into the Alabama Ocean. I mean, the lake in Alabama. Just dumped them. Just one day said, fuck it, screw it, and dumped it, packages. Now, these people pay for these packages. People are expecting these things, whether they're gifts. Yes, how about that? Our Joe Perillo, a good friend of ours, got very upset after they robbed the Mag Mile. They robbed the store. Joe Perillo, very good friend of mine, comes to see the Tony O show. I'm also a good friend with Stan Wozniak, another great friend, former owner of Jilly's. They just robbed his Perillo store. This is a car dealership, folks. Yeah, that's crazy. There's no boundaries anymore. Who would go in and go and rob a car lot? Go into the store. Oh, when they even this Jussie Smollett, if I'm pronouncing the name right, I guess he's facing up to 20 years in prison. I guess we talked about it, but I guess when they were going to court and the jury came, I took like 2 or 3 days to come up with a verdict of some kind. OJ, when he got convicted, in less than 4 hours, he was convicted. This guy's got to get 20 years. This guy's a piece of garbage, folks. I'm sorry, trying to come up and fake that you were attacked. This makes news. People come out and hear about this. When he's going to jail, folks, he's going to be getting a lot of footlongs back there. He might be doing a commercial for, Jersey Mike's or something, or Subway when he gets out. What an idiot. I'm sorry, folks. Pop-Tarts. Are you a Pop-Tart fan? They're making donut-flavored Pop-Tarts. Pulp culture, folks. This is the top 5-10 things that come up on the news today for more important stuff. Umberland. Hey, we also want to say happy birthday to Trey Cook. Of course, he's a drummer from the band Green Day. Great pop band, great punk pop band. 49 years old today. Very, very cool. And, of course, our prayers go out to the devastating tornado that hit Kentucky. 50 to 70 people have died. I cannot imagine what they must be going through right now. Brian, how you doing, buddy? In broad daylight, Jay. Think about that. Yeah, Mr. Perillo, I'm sorry that happened. But our prayers go out to horrible in Kentucky, what happened with that tornado, folks. I just can't imagine that your whole life could be gone just like that. Your house, your valuables, your things, your families, everything. People dying just like that. Act of God is very dangerous. Kathy, it's very sad. Our prayers go out to that. And the thing is, sometimes, they can predict some of that stuff, but they don't know how big it's going to get. I mean, when people move to Florida, how many times I know when they're out in Florida, sometimes their houses get, from the, I don't know. I just can't picture what that poor family has to be going through, and anybody around that area. I just don't know. It's so sad and scary at the same time. Get a basement. If you live in Kentucky or Tennessee, make sure you get a basement with your house. Very important. Hey, Brian, Governor, that makes a lot of sense, my friend. Get a basement. You don't think it's never going to happen to you? Those people in Kentucky never thought it was going to happen to them either, folks. This is good news. CNN, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, boy, look at this. Just announced that 77% of their viewers, they've lost 77% of their viewers in the last 12 months, the channel of CNN. No kidding. Now, folks, I always say that, right? Who cares? I love this quote. My mind still thinks I'm 25 years old, but my body thinks my mind is an idiot. And I'm telling you, folks, try to get down on the floor to wrap presents, right? And then try to get back up again. That's like an Olympic event. You know you're old when you can't get back up from wrapping presents on the floor. And I'm going to be 59. I think that's funny. Another thing I can't stand. Dear Facebook, stop asking me people I may know. You might know this person. I do know them, some of them. And I don't like some of them. So stop asking me. I mean, every time I turn on social media, you may know this guy. You may know this guy. You may know this guy. I hope they stop doing that shit. Oh, my God. And let's get back to the government to some degree. Now, think about this. You work a 9-to-5 job. You work your 30, 40 years, whatever, 20 years, whatever it is. You get to a certain age, 65, 66, 62, whatever it is. You can retire. Or they say, sorry, George, we have to move you because the new guy's coming up. You retire. You take a pension, Social Security, whatever you do, you go relax, you live your life, or you get another job. But what I don't understand, nobody should be allowed in a job like that, especially government, 30, 40 years. No. Your time is up. There you go. There you go, Becky Lee. She just said, Becky Lee, they're tracking you, people you may know. Aha. Very good. Yes, stop asking, right, Lisa? Lisa, I hope to see you this year, honey. We'll be at Tavern on the Point this Wednesday, Edison Park. It's going to be a great spot. I hope to see you there, honey. And many houses in that area of the country do not come with basements. You have to request a basement. I did not know that, Brian. Thank you, buddy. Or a bomb shelter. I think you're going to have to do that too. Excuse me. This is incredible news. Remember I talked about late night television that I talk about all the time? Well, listen to this, folks. According to pulpculture.com, views are plummeting down, losing so many viewers. Corbett, Kimball, Fallon, garbage. Folks, I've not watched late night since Johnny Carson. I watched The Little Letterman. I used to love Craig Ferguson. He was very good. But these guys, I don't know what they are. I don't know what they are. But I'm glad they're losing views. Tons. I mean, plummeted down these views of these guys on television. Colbert, what an idiot. Or Colbert, however you pronounce his name. I'm glad they're losing. I'm glad. Folks, it's 1 o'clock. I'm sorry. I wish I could talk more, but I can't. It's about that time that we have to say goodbye and Ocean Spit. But before we do that, folks, let's talk about our last sponsor, of course, the great Patriot Funding Incorporated, folks. Money lending at its finest. Dave Antonelli out of Roselle, Illinois, right here. Give you a lot of different options, folks. Personal term loan, personal cash line of credit, business credit cards, personal credit cards. Call my buddy Dave Antonelli, excuse me, at 630-675-4730. Tell him Tony O sent you. Get that money now, especially for the holidays. Whatever you might need, get it done. Patriot Funding Incorporated right there, ladies and gentlemen. I need to thank you guys again for watching the show. I need to thank the incredible Ronnie Rice, ladies and gentlemen, formerly of the New Colony 6. Now, of course, with the wonderful Cornerstones of Rock. If you haven't got to see that show, the PBS special, Google it. Ides of March, Shadows of the Night, Crying Shames, New Colony 6. I mean, they even do a special tribute to, of course, American Breed, the Buckinghams, all great Chicago rock and roll bands all together in one concert. PBS, see the special, or go find out. Look up, Google and follow Ronnie Rice on Facebook. Find out what he's up to, his great solo shows as well, and you will not be disappointed. I'm telling you, all great entertainers from the Chicago. Elizabeth, big hello. Ricky Stokes from Palm Springs. Looking forward to doing a show with you. Hi, Elizabeth Haynes. How you doing? Hello, Ricky. All right, guys. Don't forget, check the website, TonyOceanMusic.com, or give us a call at 847-769-869. Tomorrow, Greg Potter, the great drummer from the Buddy Rich Band, of course, with Kathy Rich, Buddy Rich's daughter, will be on the show tomorrow. Greg Potter and Kathy Rich here on Ocean's Pit. All you drummers out there might want to tune in for that. Wednesday will be a Tavern on the Point, 7:30, Edison Park, Rhino Ryan, and the return of Regina Karma. Thursday, Capri and Willow Springs, Rhino Ryan and Lisa P. Friday, Chicago Prime Steakhouse. Saturday, Taverna on Division, Melrose Park, Rhino Ryan and Tony Toto. Sunday, Speakeasy, St. Charles, Sinatra Sunday, me and the Professor Daryl Amistad. Thank you guys for watching the show today. Thank you, Ronnie Rice. God bless you all. My wife's coming home tonight. Woo! Miss you, honey, and miss the girls. I love you guys very much. And like I said, any beefs you got, try to put an end to them. Try to go into the new year, 2022, positive and stop these beefs. We got to stop these beefs. They're not worth it. Thank you guys so much. Have a great day. And the great words of Ringo Starr, peace and love. Peace and love. God bless you all. Have an incredible day, man. Incredible. And don't forget, last but not least, Eco Solar Solutions, where you always save more energy. 630-345-2964. Bye-bye, everybody. I want you all to have a great day.
Time to go. It's the end of the show. See you later from Tony O.
God bless you. Have a great day.